في ظهور من صاحب العصر والزمان الثالثة بأعلاه.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. صلى الله عليك يا سيدي ويا مولاي يا أبا عبد الله. صلى الله عليك يا ابن رسول الله يا رحمة الله الواسعة ويا باب نجاة الأمة يا غريب مظلوم كربلاء. ما خاب من تمسك بكم وأمن من لجأ إليكم. يا ليتنا كنا معكم سادتي فنفوز فوزا عظيم. رسول حسين ونعم الرسول إليهم من العترة الصالحة لقد بايعوه رغبة منهم فيا بؤس للبيعة كالشجاع وقد خذلوه وقد أسلموا وقد خذلوه وقد أسلموا وغدرتهم لم تزل واضحة. فيا ابن عقيل فدتك النفوس فيا ابن عقيل فدتك النفوس لعظم رزيتك الفادحة لنبكي لها بمذاب القلوب فما قدروه أدمعنا الماء. I am Muslim and I have a pledge with Hussein to gather support and topple a tyrant's reign. They wrote to us of this tyranny. They complain, forbidden on us to from requests abstain. We are the house that grabs the hand of any who struggle to stand. Tell the angel of death I have a duty. I'm scared he'll then search for Hussein. He'll search for حسين كربلاء in Kufa, he calls out my name. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. وسيعلم الذين ظلموا أي منقلب ينقلبون والعاقبة للمتقين. قال الله الكريم في كتابه الحكيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. How can you reject faith in God, seeing that you are without life, and He gave you life? Then He will cause you to die and will again bring you to life, and again to Him you return. كيف تكفرون بالله وكنتم أمواتا فأحياكم ثم يميتكم ثم يحييكم ثم ترجعون. آمنا بالله صدق الله العلي العظيم. أفلح من صلى على محمد وآل محمد. Yes, dear brothers and sisters and scholars, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Mankind came from Allah, and to Allah He will return. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Even the scholar says that mankind's beginning is his end. Inna al-ghaya hiya al-ruju' ila al-bidaya. Surely mankind's end is his beginning. Inna al-ghaya, the end, is the return to the beginning. Al-ghaya هي الرجوع إلى what? البداية. For the end is to return to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You see, us as mankind, we have to look at the world as being transient. And the time is very limited in relative to how long we've lived in this world since, let's just say, the Big Bang Theory. The time in which time has been existent in relative to how long we as human beings live on this earth is a minute figure. Time has probably been in existence for millions of years, but us as human beings, how long have you been on this earth? Let's just say we go on to 60 years, 70 years, 80 years, 90, let's just say we push to 100. It's a minute bleep on that radar of the existence of time. So don't look at how short time is in this life. Look at the longevity of the hereafter. You see, a wise man looks at the hereafter. Why? Because in the hereafter you can attain immortality. In this life you're a mere mortal. You're going through spheres and phases until you reach the hereafter, which is immortal. If you do not perform your deeds in this world, then all it is going to be is that you'll die, and that immortality is going to be where? In the hellfire, not in the hereafter with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You see, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He's very, very specific when it comes to the Quran. He says there's a massive difference between maut and imata. Maut and imata. We mentioned in the ayah of the Quran, Surah Al-Baqarah, chapter 2, verse 28, كَيْفَ تَكْفُرُونَ بِاللَّهِ وَكُنْتُمْ أَمْوَاتًا فَأَحْيَاكُمْ ثُمَّ يُمِيتَكُمْ ثُمَّ يُحْيِيكُمْ ثُمَّ إِلَيْهِ تُرْجَعُونَ. ثُمَّ إِلَيْهِ تُرْجَعُونَ. Yes, mankind, before this world, were they alive or were they dead? Before this realm that we live in right now, were they alive or were they dead? In what state were they as human beings? Or what state were they as creations, let's just say? This ayah, this chapter in the Quran explains beautifully that us as mankind are going through realms. until we reach Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. كيف تكفرون بالله وكنتم أمواتا, meaning that we were lifeless, not in this world, but there was no life, no physical life. Here we are lifeless. Kuntum what? Amwata. Let's keep that note. Kuntum amwata. So, thumma ahyakum. He brought you to this life, the life that we're living in now. Thumma ahyakum. We brought into this life. Then what? So there's two phases now. We're lifeless. We're in this life. Thumma what? Thumma yumitakum. And now you have died. But notice here, yumitakum. It's not maut, it's amata. Why is it amata? Because amata, there needs to be life for there to be death. Maut is just death. Maut is just death. But imata, there needs to be life. That's why the Quran is very specific here. It says, thumma yumitakum. Then what? Thumma yuhyikum. Hold on. If I'm dead, do I come back alive again? This is the Quran, this is what it's alluding to. Thumma yuhyikum. Then what? Thumma ilayhi turja'un. Let's just say, for example, that we started in this life. There was nothing before we started in this life. Okay, let's take the verses of the Quran. Kuntum amwata. Alright. Thumma ahyakum. Okay, now from this life, and then I'm dead, and I transfer to the next life. But the next life, I'm next to Allah. How come there's two more? Thumma yuhyikum and thumma yumitukum, and then I'm what? So do you understand the point? The point is, if I'm living in this life, and then I die, but the next life I'm with Allah, but then there's another death, and then there's another life, and there's another death, and there's another... That's why there has to be a transient phase. And that's why this world is a transient phase, brothers and sisters. Don't look at the 60, 70, 80, 90 years that we have in this life being a long time. Yeah, I'm 25 now. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give me a life inshallah to 60, 70, 40, 50. That's a long time. 40 years is a very long time. Brothers and sisters, 40, 60, 70 years in relation to the whole of the existence of time is a very minute time. And therefore, if I was wise and if I was smart, I'd look for immortality. Not mortality. Immortality, and I reach that where? With the hereafter. Sallallahu ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Now, in order to reach immortality, I must do what? I must submit to the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Allah has a very, very interesting discussion of how to submit to Him when He says there are three different forms of submission, or three different stages. If I am to submit to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I must first submit physically. Physically submit to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then I must use my mind, my intellect. I must acknowledge that I must submit to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then I submit using my heart. Now these three stages are exemplified rather interestingly when we discuss Iblis. Because Iblis, before he was damned and cursed to hell, for 60,000 years he would worship none other but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He was a devout worshipper with so much belief, it beggars belief. To the extent he was called Ta'awusi Ahl al-Jannah, the peacock of Jannah. He was revered at some stage, but however his arrogance obviously damned him to hell. Now the interesting point is that when we mention the three steps of submission, let's just track back before we enter the story of Iblis. The three steps of submission, let's just say when it comes to the physical state that I'm in a battle with someone. A physical battle with someone. In order to submit, what do? I raise my hands. Or for example in war there's the white flag. Correct? When that white flag is shown, what does that mean? I have submitted to your will. Physically I've submitted. Maybe intellectually or maybe by the heart I haven't submitted. But physically I've submitted. That's number one. Number two, when it comes to the intellect, you see many scientists out there, many doctors, many theologians who prove the existence of God, but they're not Muslims. Who understand that God is perfect and the system is perfect and everything around us is perfect and it needs to be a divine creator of this system, but they're not Muslims. Why? Because their intellect has acknowledged that there is a perfect existence, but their heart hasn't submitted. Neither have they submitted physically. And again, when it comes to the heart, here it's exemplified by Satan or by Iblis. Why? Because Iblis says to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, فَبِعِزَّتِكَ لَأَغْوِيَنَّهُمْ أَجْمَعِينَ. Number one, he has sincere belief in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. فَبِعِزَّتِكَ, he says Allah has izzah. فَبِعِزَّتِكَ لَأَغْوِيَنَّهُمْ أَجْمَعِينَ. لأغوينهم أجمعين, I will make them go all astray. إلا عبادك منهم المخلصون. See, there's a vast difference between مخلصين and مخلصون. مخلصين is someone who's purified himself. I've purified myself, therefore I become a mukhlis. Mukhlasun are those who have been purified by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The prophets and the imams, they are the mukhlasun. So, Iblis, what does he say? إِلَّا عِبَادِكَ مِنْهُمُ الْمُخْلَصُونَ. And again, the difference between the mukhlasun and mukhlasin. فَانْذِرْنِي إِلَى يَوْمِ يُبْعَثُونَ. Another concept in which he believes in the day of judgment. Yawmi what? Yub'athun is the day of judgment. So once again, he believes in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He believes in the day of judgment. And he believes that there is a creator, there is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but even then, Allah still dismisses Iblis, even after his worship. Why? Because Iblis didn't submit with the heart. He didn't submit with the heart. So there's the three levels of submission. The three levels of submission.
How are you going to turn this?
Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So once I've submitted by using these three pillars or these three elements, then I can attain closeness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And by the way, whilst we're still on the subject, the term submission is exclusive to Islam. What do I mean? The term Islam means what? It means to submit to the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Islam is the only religion that the religion is not based on an individual, it's based upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's based upon submitting to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Look at Christianity, look at Buddhism, Sikhism, so on and so forth. They're all based on a character. And that's why Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, sallallahu alayhi wa Muhammad. And that's why Prophet Muhammad, if he was to be someone who was greedy or who wanted to usurp the religion for his own cause, he would have called the religion Muhammadism, for example. But he submitted to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Lord of the creator of the whole universe, and therefore it's called submitting to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and that is Islam. Islam. Imam Hussein alayhi salam submitted to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But another man who was his cousin by the name of Muslim ibn Aqil, who we commemorate tonight. We commemorate Muslim ibn Aqil, the ambassador of Imam al-Hussein. Safir al-Hussein, they call him. The ambassador of Imam Hussein, the messenger of Imam al-Hussein. A man who likewise submitted intellectually, by the heart and physically to the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Why? To sacrifice himself for the way of Hussein. He left Medina. Muslim ibn Aqil left Medina and collected almost 18,000 people in Kufa. The reason why he was sent to Kufa is because Imam al-Hussein wanted to get the signatures or wanted to observe the situation in Kufa to see if it is okay for him to leave. Upon arriving in Kufa, Muslim ibn Aqil saw that he had 18,000 in the army. So he sent a letter out to Imam al-Hussein telling him that they are with you, Abu Abdullah. Come towards Kufa and you have a revolution here. You have a revolution because we have 18,000 and we can easily match the army of Yazid. But word got out to whom? Ubaydullah ibn Ziyad. And he said, anyone who brings me Muslim or anyone who sides with Muslim, death penalty is upon him. Therefore, when he was leading the salah, at the dhuhr or the maghrib, he was leading the salah. What happened then? His first salah, half of them left. By the time he left salah, or by the time he finished salah, the 18,000 all abandoned him. And Muslim ibn Aqil was alone to roam the streets of Medina. Alone, a stranger in a strange land, he was forced to roam Medina. He got tired. There was no one with him. No food, no drink. It reached the night. He got tired, so he sat down outside a house. When he sat down outside the house, a woman who was living inside the house by the name of Taw'a came towards the door and saw a man sitting in front of her porch or her porchway or her house. She says to the man, "Oh man, why do you stand here? What do you need? What do you want?" Here he replies, "I'm thirsty. I've been walking for miles. I've been walking for a long time. I'm thirsty. Can I please get some water?" So the woman by the name of Taw'a comes and brings him some water. Upon drinking the water, the man stays there. Muslim ibn Aqil stays there. He has nowhere to go. So he stays there. Then Taw'a's daughter hears crying. She hears crying from the windows. She goes to the windows and she sees that this man who has been left all alone, a stranger in this city, is crying, saying, "Wa ghurbata. Wa ghurbata, I'm a stranger within these lands." And so her mother sees her and she says, "Why are you crying?" She says, "I heard this man. He keeps saying I'm a stranger. I felt sorry for him. Mom, can we do something about this man?" So again the mother comes towards Muslim and says, "Oh man, you have no business here. Please, can you please leave away from my home?" Here he says, "Please, can I just stay just for a bit longer? Just one more glass of water." There she asks Muslim, "What is your name? Address yourself to me." The man replies, "I am Muslim ibn Aqil. My uncle is Ali ibn Abi Talib. My cousin is the Imam Hussein. And I have nowhere to go." Here she breaks down. "You are Muslim ibn Aqil, come inside. Come inside, let me serve you. For you are part of Bani Hashim, let me serve you." So he goes into the house and he worships all night. And in his dream he sees his uncle Amir al-Mu'mineen, and he sees Rasulullah telling Muslim that soon you will come towards us. Soon you will come towards us in the morning. Taw'a's son knew of the whereabouts of Muslim, and he went and told the army of Ubaydullah ibn Ziyad. So Ubaydullah had sent an army out towards Muslim. There, Muslim is faced by Taw'a. Taw'a says, "I'm sorry, there's nothing I can do. I'm sorry, I cannot protect you anymore. I can't protect you anymore, but here's a sword and fight like your uncle Ali ibn Abi Talib," in which he says, "Wallahi qillilha ya Taw'a تشجعيني وبعمي حيدر تذكريني أنا ما زال صارم بيميني لفل بعون الله كل دمعة تجيني." Brothers and sisters, can we please dim the lights as much as we can, for we're living, and throughout these remaining nights I'd like us all to enter a more full state when it comes to the Masa'ib of Ahlul Bayt. For from today onwards, each day we talk about and we mourn a personality. Tonight we mourn Muslim. Tomorrow we mourn the Ansar, the companions of Imam al-Hussein. The day after that is the day of Abil Fadhil Abbas alayhi salam, the Bab al-Hawa'ij. And after that, inshallah, Qasim bil Hassan. And after that, Ayl Akbar, until we reach Wida'. These 10 nights are nights of mourning and for tears for Abu Abdullah al-Hussein. For surely these tears are going to be intercessors for you on the Day of Judgment. And Fatima can testify to this. Fatima Zahra can testify to this. Why? Because I've mentioned before, she says, Allah will create a nation who will cry and mourn for my son Hussein until the day of judgment. We are that nation, brothers and sisters. So enter the type of mourning that we can cry for Abu Abdullah al-Hussein. And this is the cousin of Imam al-Hussein. He says, Muslim fought valiantly. He says, oh Taw'a, you give me the sword of my uncle Amir al-Mu'mineen. But no, how can I fight when there are thousands in front of me? He exits the house, he fights bravely. Each man that comes to him, he would slay him, until the commander was sent back to Ubaidullah ibn Ziyad, and he was told, we can't deal with this man by himself, for he is the nephew of Amir al-Mu'mineen. Send more people. Until then, a Muslim fought bravely, but there was a ditch that they brought up, and he fell into this ditch. They captured Muslim ibn Aqil. They take him to Qasr al-Imara. To Qasr al-Imara, there on the top of the Qasr, they tell him, we are going to slay you right now. Similar to how we're going to slay Abu Abdullah, your cousin. We're going to slay you, but we will give you 3 requests. What are they? The first request, he says, I have some debts. Please repay my debts. The second is that I'm thirsty. Please give me some water before you slay me. And third, please tell Abu Abdullah al-Hussein not to come to Kufa, for they have manipulated me, and they have told me, and they have taken away my army. Tell Imam al-Hussein not to come to Kufa. The reply came, they said, as for your first request, we can give you that. As for your second request, here is a cup of water. But your third request, we cannot, because we want the allegiance of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein. Muslim then holds the cup of water in front of his hands. Now imagine this sight. He holds the cup of water in front of his hands. Every single time he would go to drink, the blood of his mouth and face would mix with the water, and he had to get another water. 3 cups of water, then he realized that he's not supposed to drink this water, for Abu Abdullah will die thirsty, and so I must die thirsty. Before they slay him, he says, Assalamu alayka ya Abu Abdullah. It's as if Abu Abdullah al-Hussein can hear him. It's as if Abu Abdullah al-Hussein can hear him. He says, Wa alayka salam ya Muslim ibn Aqil. He tells Zainab, bring me Hamida. For Muslim had 3 children, 2 of them sons who died after Karbala, and one of them a daughter who accompanied Imam al-Hussein in Karbala. He says, give me Hamida. Why, O Zainab? He brings Hamida towards her. He sits her in the lap. Then Hamida's confused. Oh uncle, why do you wipe my head? Uncle, why do you wipe my head? Have I been an orphan? The reply came from Abu Abdullah al-Hussein, telling Hamida, I am your father now, and my daughters are your sisters, and my daughters are your sisters. After he wipes the head of Hamida the orphan, he exits the camp, but he hears a cry of a small child. He walks back into the camp, he notices a small child crying in the corner. He goes towards this small child. He realizes that it's his daughter Sukaina. Sukaina says, oh father, I noticed that you wiped the head of Hamida, for she is an orphan. But father, I know accompanying you, I will be an orphan, but who is there to wipe my head? They tell Muslim, they tell me drink before we throw you to the ground. Each time I sipped in this cup my own blood I found. I gaze to the land of death to which Hussein's bound. Oh Hussein, the world has your cousin abandoned. Hey, oh Hussein, the world has your cousin abandoned. لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم. أفلح من صلى على محمد وآل محمد. Brothers and sisters, as we have been doing so for the past couple of nights, I'd like you to all stand for the recitation of the Latmiya in honor of the servants of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein, in honor of Muslim ibn Aqil telling Imam al-Hussein that till the day of my death, every step, every breath, every step, every breath is for you. Till the day of my death, every step, every breath, every step, every breath is for you. My soul and my body, everything within me. My soul and my body, everything within me is for you, is for you. I know from my soul and my heart that from you never will I part. Oh Master, your beauty has captured my eye. For you all the tears that I cry flow rivers. Beside Hussein I have no one. Beside Hussein I have no one. Your name is always on my tongue. Oh Savior, a medicine to all my wounds. In my darkness, you are my moon forever. To these words, listen, O Rose, throughout me, your name it flows. Do you know it's you I chose? My heart knows deep in sorrow. Whenever I can't stand, whenever I can't stand, you take me by my hand, you take me by my hand toward you. Whenever I can't stand, you take me by my hand, you take me by my hand toward you. My path, my destiny, everything within me. My path, my destiny, everything within me is for you, is for you. You've taken me out of this world. You've taken me out of this world. My heart over you has wailed. Oh angel, without you I cannot think right. I walk without guidance or sight. I'm unwell against your name. I commit crimes, but I return time after time, cold and pale. I beg you now, take me with you. Never ever let me farewell. And by God and by the stars, I'm with you until I die. Every day for you I cry. Beneath my eyes your body lies. And by God and by the skies, I'm with you until I die. Every day for you I cry. Beneath my eyes your body lies. Your body lies. Without you, what is life? What reason should I strive? What reason should I strive except you? My life and so truly, my life and so truly, everything within me is for you, is for you. Since into my dark life you came, since into my dark life you came, I was raised and lived by your name and your way. I wear your name upon my hand, whether in smiles or tears I stand. Every day my heart's attached to your greatness. My heart's attached to your greatness. I can't breathe without your nearness. I'm away from life, away from death. Your sweet name absent from my breath. Tears I stay, oh flower of all my years, oh flower of all my years. I see you so very near to the cursed sword of Shimir. So I shed tears needing you here, oh flower of all my years. I see you so very near to the cursed sword of Shimir, sword of Shimir. So I shed tears needing you here. All my tears and my blood, all my tears and my blood, testify I'm in love, testify I'm in love without you. All my tears and my blood, testify I'm in love, testify I'm in love with Hussein. And for your tragedy, and for your tragedy, everything within me is for you, is for you. Assalamu alayka ya Aba Abdullah وعلى الأرواح التي حلت بفنائك. عليكم مني جميعا سلام الله أبدا ما بقيت وبقي الليل والنهار، ولا يجعله الله آخر العهد مني لزيارتكم. السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين، وخصوصا سيدي ومولاي أبي الفضل العباس واخته زينب جميعا ورحمة الله وبركاته. إلهي بمريض كربلاء زين العابدين يا رب عافي وشافي جميع المرضى، على أخص من أوصانا بالدعاء يا الله. اللهم وفقنا لمراضيك، جنبنا معاصيك، اجعل عواقب أمورنا خيرا يا الله. إلهي بالحسين تقبل منا ومن مؤسسي هذا المجلس بأحسن قبول يا الله. اللهم ارزقنا في الدنيا زيارة الحسين وفي الآخرة شفاعة الحسين يا الله. اللهم عجل لوليك الفرج واجعلنا من أنصاره وعوانه ومن الذابين عنه من المستشهدين بين يدي يا الله. إلى أرواح المؤمنين والمؤمنات وإلى أرواح خدمة الحسين نهدي لهم ثواب صورة المباركة الفاتحة قبلها صلوات.